Welcome back to my channel. My name is Veilguards and today I'm going to talk about Dragon Age the Veilguard. I played Dragon Age Inquisition and I thought it was pretty fun. BioWare are usually story and writing heavy with their games, so I thought I would give it a chance. I did see a lot of people had opinions before and after it came out, mostly negative I would say. As long as a game isn't live service, I like to give it the benefit of the doubt and play it to form my own opinion. I managed to get the platinum for this game 3 times, so I feel that I've played it long enough to give a decent review. I played the first 2 times on the Keeper difficulty, which is the second difficulty, and then the 3rd time I played on Storyteller because I wanted to get through it as quickly as possible, which I did because I finished in 31 hours the 3rd time. The Storyteller difficulty is actually so easy that it feels like cheating. So I haven't played any of the other Dragon Age games, only Inquisition and Veilguard. I am, however, a huge Mass Effect fan, so after playing Mass Effect an ungodly amount of times, I thought I would try Inquisition. I definitely enjoyed the game, but I missed so much content because I couldn't find specific sections. I think I only found 2 of the dragons the whole game. I would definitely love to get the platinum for Inquisition, but I also respect the fact that I probably don't have the skill to play the game on the highest difficulty. Anyway, this video isn't about Inquisition, so let's get to talking about the Veilguard. A friend of mine is a huge Dragon Age fan and has played all the games and has a bunch of books, so I've asked for her opinion as well because I think it will be a good perspective from a true Dragon Age fan. I don't think there will be any major spoilers in this video, but I will talk about some of the boss battles. So, getting the platinum for this game 3 times. What's that like? Well, it was pretty rough at the end because I just wanted it to be over. I'm impressed that I managed to actually complete it 3 times. Getting the platinum was surprisingly not that difficult and it can be done in one playthrough. They have updated the game so it doesn't matter which decision you make in Chapter 6, you can get the good ending regardless now. You're probably thinking, how can it be easy and difficult at the same time? The writing. But I'll talk about that later. So let's talk about the trophies. There are trophies for completing each chapter, so you'll have to at the very least play the game from start to finish. You'll also need to make sure that everybody, including faction leaders, survive the ending, however one of your team will die regardless of doing everything right. This doesn't affect the trophy though, as long as the rest of the team survive. There are 14 chapters you'll need to complete. Every few chapters there are some pretty fun boss battles. The first dragon you fight is in Chapter 6, and when I played it the first time, that dragon handed my ass to me because I was underleveled. You only have to do a small bit of damage to this one for it to fly away, so that's even more embarrassing. A few chapters later you have to fight an archdemon, which is actually a really fun boss battle. The first time I played this I cried every time a new head popped out of the water, and I died a lot. There's a trophy for finding flowers and putting them on the battlefield after a battle. I only know this because I had to look at a guide. I was close to the end, so I checked the guide to try and get all the trophies in one run. You do have to properly look around for these flowers because they are super hidden. Would have personally walked straight past them if it wasn't for the guide. The second and third times I played, I didn't remember where these flowers were, so I had to go back and look up the locations because I kept forgetting. They put a secret ending in the game, and you have to find 3 parts of a circle object in order to get the ending. It does seem to hint at the next game, which we will have to wait and see if that ever comes to fruition. These circle things are hidden in 3 different places. One is after a dragon fight and you have to go around and look for it. The only reason I found it is because I'm a loot goblin and grab everything that isn't nailed down. The second one is in the forest where you have to solve a puzzle to get access. The last one is after another dragon fight, and it's on the way out but less hidden. Again, without a guide I probably wouldn't even have collected the second one, so the guide saves the day again. Both dragon fights are pretty tough and the last one is level 50. It is a fun and challenging fight though. After finishing the fight 3 times I can safely say that I've not improved my dragon fighting skills. You'll get a trophy for finding all the altars of Evanurus plus the wolf statues. Even though it doesn't sound like you need to find the wolf statues, you actually do need to find them all for this trophy to pop. These are fairly easy to find. There are 29 of them altogether. Each time I played I did need to search for one I'd missed. The Evanura statues give you health and the wolf statues give you skill points, so I pretty much went to find all of the Evanura statues as fast as possible to boost my health. The next 7 trophies are for helping your teammates with their problems. They all seem to have major problems and people that want to ruin their lives. Reminds me of Mass Effect 2 when you had to help all your teammates for the best ending. I think it was a good idea to have everyone have their own story, but they all kinda had the same story, just in a different font. Every time you go to the lighthouse, they have conversations or missions you need to complete. I didn't feel invested in any of the side stories or characters, just something I had to get over with. You need to get all of the teammates to Hero of the Veilguard for the good ending. There are 6 trophies for getting wolf statues attached to memories that you need to watch. You get given 1 and the rest you have to find by either fighting enemies or going through a memory. It was pretty fun to collect these, but the memories aren't that interesting, and the discussions after watching them with the team just didn't feel necessary, but that could just be me being a hater. The next 2 trophies are for collecting the mementos. There's something like 180 of them in the game, and some are found in levels you can't return to, so you have to go out of your way to look for them. Because I'd played it before, the next 2 playthroughs finding them was easier because I remembered where they were, and even found some extra ones. You'll have to find 20 for one trophy and 80 for the other, and hand them in to the caretaker. You can buy some mementos as well, which can help get the numbers up quicker. You have to visit all districts in Northern Thedas for the next trophy. Each time I got this, it was a story/side quest related, so you don't have to go out of your way to visit everywhere because it'll be natural as you go. The next 6 trophies are for helping each faction get to maximum strength. I just hoard all the valuables I find and sell them to the faction with the lowest strength. There are missions in the areas to boost the strength of each faction. Some of the main quests count towards faction strength as well. You have to get all of these factions to maximum strength for the good ending. The rest of the trophies are for doing random things like spending skill points, performing takedowns, and throwing an enemy off a ledge. The only one that's semi-annoying is the Enhancements trophy, where you have to get the Caretaker's Workshop to level 10, which takes a lot of mementos in order to upgrade your gear. That's pretty much it on the trophies. I would say it's definitely an easy game to platinum. Easy enough to do it 3 times and not have a psychotic break, but it was pretty close near the end then. Before I give my opinion, I want to let my friend Kate give her review. She is a fan of the Dragon Age games and waited a long time for this game to come out. We've had a lot of discussions about this game, so I definitely had to have her in this video. So let's hear from him.
This game reminds me a lot of an onion. The more you peel it, the more you cry and question your life choices. From the horrendous dialogue to the shallow characters, this game has it all. As a big fan of the series and someone who has been closely following the development of this game, I am extremely disappointed, even though I had 0 expectations to begin with. I knew that the game was experiencing the worst possible development hell, with most people leaving the studio and having to quickly hire new ones. I was under the impression that the game would follow the same route as Dragon Age 2, having less than a year to develop it, making it very linear, taking out a lot of characters, but not sacrificing the story. Veilguard, however, sacrificed everything. The dialogue makes you feel like a 5-year-old, cuddled by your parents, making sure that you understood everything, and still repeating it a few more times for good measure. The characters are all extremely shallow and boring. None of them have even one quality that stands out and makes them worthwhile, including your own character, by the way. This game provides you with 0 dialogue choice because you're always cheaper and the therapist of the group. Every option is either very positive or a tiny bit rude. You agree with everything your companions do or say because friendship and love will always win. The story by itself is okay. You're pretty much hunting down gods that are about to destroy the world. What I did notice was that the game has no sense of urgency. Just running around different locations, you don't have the impression that the world is about to collapse. In this game, they have made a big focus on puzzles, and that would be fun. However, they are so easy that a cat can solve them. They are almost useless, just making sure that you spend a little longer in the game. The skill tree in the game is also lacking a lot. It reminded me of the Valhalla skill tree, where you get 0.5 defense here and 2 attack speed there. After I got the trophy for spending 52 ability points, I didn't bother with skills anymore. They all felt pointless and not adding anything that my character might need. Another huge drawback is that you cannot craft armor or weapons. You can only upgrade them. I remember how much fun I used to have in Inquisition fidgeting with all the schematics, trying to figure out which one would be the best in which situation, and how can I make an even better weapon. At around hour 20 or 30 of the game, we get an invite to the Black Emporium. Finally! I screamed with excitement. I can finally buy schematics. No, I couldn't. And we slowly get to the romance section. Oh my god, and I thought there could be nothing drier than my own love life. You get one half-naked scene before the last act, and that's it. You can flirt and make eyes at each other, but you get nothing out of it. Smut-loving girlies will be severely disappointed. This game's only saving grace was the combat. It's nothing like what previous games had, it's way more hands-on. You have to dodge and block attacks, at the same time give commands to your companions, figure out what the hell is going on around you, consume potions if you have to, so on and so forth. Veilguards always gives ratings for the games, and I will not abandon tradition. The game gets 2 out of 5 burgers, 1 for the combat and 1 for Locatis, only because I'm a simp for broken men.
Now, I definitely agree with a lot of what Kate said here. The writing is by far the worst part of this game. An 18+ rated game where the romance is so stale that you might even get a handshake after hours of flirting. I so desperately wanted to like Bellara, but she's like an annoying kid that won't shut up and is easily excited by anything and everything. There was a puzzle with 3 seconds after entering the room she tells you what to do. I might not be a genius, but good grief, at least give me a chance to figure it out. The characters, I can't even remember anything about them, they were that bland. I ended up romancing Davrin, Emmerich, and Lucanus. I couldn't tell you which one was better because they're all a different shade of vanilla. It's strange because the story isn't bad in the grand scheme of things, I just don't know how they made all the characters so boring and unlikable. I know everyone mentions the non-binary character Tash being added, which honestly I don't mind inclusivity. I just feel like they've done the non-binary community an injustice because Tash was written so poorly and was so unlikable. Not to mention the whole, you don't get to tell me who I am, while calling Emmerich a death mage after he said he hates being called that. I could rant for hours about how much I hated the writing, how cringeworthy the whole save the world I'm a hero dialogue is, but I won't bore you. However, I will say that the combat is fun. The redeeming quality of this game was how genuinely fun it was to fight multiple enemies and dragons. I will forever be pissed off that you don't get to fight the last archdemon, and it gets beaten by the most mangy looking 20-eyed weird ass dog wolf. Kate gave this game a 2 out of 5 burgers. Now, I was going to give it a 2.5 because I really did like the combat, but I think after 3 platinum trophies, I think a 2 is fair. So I'm going with a 2 out of 5 burgers for this one. I'm not sure I had any expectations for this game, and it still disappointed me. I feel as though they shouldn't have bothered adding romance to it because it literally is so sanitized and stale, as well as the dialogue. Even as a chronic people pleaser, I would have liked the option to be rude to my teammates. Telling them to shut up when they are being annoying would have gotten a 3 rating out of me, I think. It has, however, made me want to go back and play Inquisition again, so hopefully one day I'll get the platinum for Inquisition. Anyway, that's all I wanted to say about this game. I'm proud of myself that I managed to finish this game 3 times, and I'm glad that it's over. If this is the last video of the year, then Happy New Year. Here's hoping there will be less disappointing games next year. I want to give a big thank you to Kate for helping with this video, and I wanted to thank everyone for watching, and to those who have subscribed to me this year. I definitely have a lot of video ideas I want to get out, but unfortunately they do take a while, so please bear with me. Anyway, thanks for watching, see you in the next one!